Mukam kuruti vachalam pangum langhayate girim yat kripa tamaham vande paramananda madhavam. I bow down to Krishna, by whose grace the lame scale mountain and the dumb become eloquent. May Krishna be the guide of our lives. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace be unto all. This morning our subject is Thoughts on the Gita, part 108. Today we shall start 14th chapter of the Gita, Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga, the discrimination between the three gunas. In the previous chapter, we learned the difference between Kshetra and Kshetrajna, the body and the knower of the body, the field and the knower of the field. That means spirit and matter. How to differentiate the Atman from the human body. Drigdrishau dau padarthau dau parasparam vilakshanu. Drik, the seer. Drishya, the seen. Both are completely different. The subject and the object. They are different. Drik, the seer, is Brahman, consciousness. And Drishya is the matter, unconscious, prakriti, nature. Two completely different things. Vedanta and the scriptures reminds us this truth again and again. Now we want to see the play of the Prakriti. Prakriti plays with our three gunas, which creates variety, multiplicity, diversity. There are over 10 billion people all over the universe. We don't find two persons look alike. Two minds think alike. Each person is different. Who creates these things? Prakriti, through three gunas. If all persons look alike, all persons think alike, this world would be a boring place. We'll be like Egyptian mummies, that you look at me, I shall look at you, eternally we are looking at each other. We do not want that. We want variety, we want multiplicity, we want diversity. We do not want to see all buildings look alike, all cars look alike. No, we want variety. We want various colors. That is the reason this world is so beautiful. All are the play of Maya. Indra Mayabhi Pururupayati. Indra, God, through Maya created this variety, multiplicity, diversity. What is our goal? We want to see unity in diversity. All human beings we see, but there is one thing is common. That common factor is consciousness. That consciousness connects all of us. As Krishna mentions, Sutre Muniganaiva. Each human being is just like a money, jewel, gems. And Sutra, this thread, connects all these jewels. That thread, that chain which connects all is God. That is a beautiful imagery. In this domain of Maya, we are bound by these three gunas, but we do not feel it. We do not feel that we are bound. That is Maya. Sometimes people say, Swami, we do not believe in God because we do not see Him. The thing which you do not see, that thing does not exist. The Shankar philosopher says, no, that is not true. They gave 8 reasons that thing exists but you do not see. It is in Ishwar Krishna, in Shankar Karika, mentioned, Uti Durat, if thing is far away, you cannot see. There is an arch on the Mississippi River from our center, we cannot see, but it exists. Uti Durat, Samipyat. If it is close, we cannot see. I cannot see my own eyelashes, but they exist. Then, Indriya Ghatat. Suppose a person has tumor and lost the eyesight. He knows his mother or father or wife, they exist, but they cannot see, he cannot see. Mano anavasthanat. The thing exists, but my mind is not there. So I cannot see. I found a funny cartoon. A husband was texting with his iPhone, and the wife was seated in front of him. And the wife became very mad. He took the iPhone and threw away and said, look at me. I exist. Very funny. If the mind is not there, we do not see. Sukshma. If it is too subtle, we cannot see. We do not see the coronavirus. Suppose a person is infected with that virus, we do not see. Babodhanat. Sometimes barrier cannot see. I cannot see the Missouri Historical Society because of the wall. But it exists. Ubhibhavat. Perhaps I took the candle light in front of the blazing sun. That light is overpowered by the sunlight. So this light exists, but I cannot see. Samana vibharatcha. The Ganges water, the drain water, met the Ganges water. It is there, but I cannot differentiate it. But that drain water exists in the Ganges water. So the Shankar philosophers gave 8 reasons that a thing exists, but we cannot see. So the Prakriti and his play of the gunas we cannot see. But we can see the effect. We cannot see the cause. Prakriti has 3 colors. White, that is Sattva. Red, that is Raja. And black, that is Tama. This whole world is a mixture of these 3 colors. Our bodies, minds are constantly playing with these colors. But the Atman is colorless. The Divine Mother is playing with her children. The mother sometimes with her white dress, sometimes red dress, sometimes black dress. In the Shvetashvatara Upanishad, there is a mantra, Ajam ekam lohita shukla krishnam bodhi praja srijamanam sarupam. the Rishi of the Upanishad visualized this Prakriti nature with three colors: white, red, and black. These three colors represent three gunas. Let me give an example, perhaps you will understand better. If the window is made transparent, clean glass, we can see outside, we can see inside. If that window glass is made red, which is a red color, we cannot see outside. We can see something, but visualize some color. And if that glass is completely black, we cannot see outside at all. What I mean, this knowledge, this Shatta Guna, helps us to see outside, inside. We shall talk about it, how the Guna's knowledge comes. I'm just try to visualize these things, and black. How you can see. Very interesting. Color. These three colors also made millions, hundreds of colors. I remember once I went to see the Disney studio in Burbank and Hollywood. The vice president took me to the color room. 4 women are making various kinds of colors which the artists use for their paintings in all the Disney movies, you know. Then the vice president told me, Swami, when we made the movie Fantasia, we used 1,800 colors. I was marveled. My goodness, 1,800 colors. Then he told, do you like to see smog color of Los Angeles? Those ladies showed me that color, which is just like in grayish. Well, this is the color of smog. Amazing what colors can do. When the gunas are in equilibrium, no creation. No creation. Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. When they are separated, zero creation. That is called Mahapralaya. Final dissolution. I shall talk about Pralaya a little bit more. We cannot separate these gunas like watertight compartment. No way. It is mixed. I remember in our Vedanta class, our teacher taught us Ishvara, God. Vishuddha Sattva Pradhana, preponderance of Sattva quality. That is the way Sadananda Yogindra defined God in Vedanta Sara. Vishuddha Sattva Pradhana, pure preponderance of Sattva quality is Ishvara. Then he gave an example. I like that example. Here is an electric bulb, 1,000 watts. 90% clean, 10% plus 5% red and 5% black. Those 10% cannot obstruct the light of 90%. That is Ishvara. And Jiva, ordinary human beings, just reverse. 80% perhaps dark, 5% white, and 80, or perhaps 10% or 10%, 5% white, 15% red activities. Just reverse. That is the difference between Jiva and Ishvara. Ishvara is Mayadhish, he is the controller of Maya. He is the lord of Maya. And Jiva, Mayadhin, the slave of Maya, bound by Maya. we, how we detect these gunas? Sometimes we are very happy. That is Sattva guna. Sometimes we are very unhappy, miserable. That is Tamaguna, Rajaguna, you must say. And sometimes we are very dull, inertia, lazy. That is Tamaguna. When the mind is preponderance of Sattva quality, we love to go to the shrine, we love to meditate, we love to study the scriptures. We go in America, they call it, I am in high. So we go high. When the mind is full of Rajaguna, we want activity. We go to the shopping mall, buy things, build some things, create some things, cook some things, all the time busy. That is Rajaguna. Tamaguna, couched potato. That is the American slang. Just sit down on the couch and just watch television. That is Tamaguna. I was asking one man, you can come Sunday to listen to the lecture. He said, Swami, Saturday night we go to a party. Uncle, what is party? Well, we go at 9 o'clock till 2:30, 3 o'clock. We eat, we drink, we chat. That is our party. Sunday, get up from bed at 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. That is Tamaguna. But we need Tamaguna. Otherwise, we will be crazy. Tamaguna is sleep. If we do not sleep 3 days, we will be crazy. We will have to go to mental hospital. We need sleep. That is the reason our scripture says, Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Nidra Rupena Samastita Namastasya Namo Nama. It is in the Chanji. I bow down to the Devi, who is the embodiment of sleep. I bow down to her again and again. Sleep is very important. Sleep gives us rest to our body, to our mind. Otherwise, if a body continuously works, it will break down. Perhaps you have seen aeroplanes, long flight, they give rest many hours. Otherwise, there will be metal fatigue. The plane will be in bad shape. There will be an accident. You must give rest to these engines. So human body needs rest. So Tamaguna is also necessary. All gunas are necessary. Sattva guna necessary, Rajaguna necessary. When we are disgusted with this play of the gunas, we seek liberation, mukti. According to Shankar philosophy, the separation between Purusha and Prakriti is called liberation. When Purusha sees the play with the Maya, with Prakriti, nature, when she sees, then how much I can, when seeing every day, every night, then when he gets disgusted, he separates himself from Prakriti, nature. But the problem is we love to play. We love Maya. Otherwise we think our life is meaningless. We love Maya. But Maya has two departments, Vidya Maya, Avidya Maya. Vidya Maya will turn our minds towards God. Avidya Maya will turn our minds to the world, enjoyment. Path of renunciation, path of enjoyment. So both paths are open in front of us. You choose. We love Maya. I remember we had a devotee, she was from Hungary. And there was an Hungary, the famous actress in Hollywood. I was then in Hollywood. Her name was Zaza Gabor. She married 9 times. And her famous saying that, you know, I am the best housekeeper you ever know. Every time I divorce, I keep the house. Funny. Maya. Yoga Sutra says, Bostu Shamya Chitta Bhedat Toyor Vivakta Pantha. Bostu Shamya. The object remains the same, but Chitta, mind, are different. As I said, each human mind is different. Each human body is different. It is amazing. But Bostu, object may be the same, but the projection may be different. In the Yoga Sutra, Patanjali mentioned this thing. Give a beautiful example. Here is a beautiful woman, married. She gives happiness to her husband, and she gives pain to other women who are not so beautiful, ugly. Oh, she is so beautiful and we are so ugly. Some people see the movie actresses with their makeup, very beautiful, and other people think, oh, you are not so beautiful. So they become jealous. So the person who is giving the happiness, that is Shataguna. Giving pain to the other people, Rajaguna. And that person is again, that same woman is creating delusion in the minds of a lustful man. She has a desire for that woman. And the same woman does not create any kind of emotion in the mind of an illumined soul. To Sri Ramakrishna, that woman is the manifestation of the Divine Mother. So you see, same woman is giving happiness, giving pain, giving delusion, and giving non-difference. 4 people watching the same person, so much difference. That is Maya. Amazing how gunas work. Ramakrishna compared 3 gunas are like 3 robbers. It is a beautiful parable. A rich man was passing through a forest. So 3 robbers attacked him, robbed all his money. Then the Tamo robber said, kill him. Raja robber said, don't kill him, just tie him with the tree, by a rope, so that he may not go and inform the police. They did it. Then all 3 robbers left. Then the 3rd robber, Shatik robber, came back and told this rich man, look, I am very sorry that we robbed you. I am releasing you from this tree. You please go back home. The rich man said, please, you also come. You are such a good person and you just released me, freed me from this bondage. Please come to my home. Oh no, I cannot go there. I am also a robber. Police will arrest me. So you see, these are the nature of the 3 robbers. One is destructive, kill, another guna binds, and another guna releases. How beautifully Sri Ramakrishna gave this illustration, so we can visualize how 3 gunas play. Sri Ramakrishna gave many examples in the various places of the gospel. You can see that how Sri Ramakrishna explained these 3 gunas. He was talking about a Shatik householder. His home is not very fancy. Some places perhaps broken. He has no money perhaps to repair it. His courtyard are not very clean. Some bushes here and there. His furnitures are also old. And But that man is very calm, quiet, serene, peaceful, joyful. And the person who is full of rajas, he has a very fancy home, fancy furniture, and on his wall you will find the pictures of Queen Victoria and the princess and the rich people's pictures, and the whole house is well painted. They are well dressed, even the servants are well dressed. They have a gold watch with gold chain, and he has rings, perhaps 2-3 rings, and perhaps gold and what is called ruby and all the fancy stones. The way Sri Ramakrishna graphically described the sign of a rich man of a Rajaguna. And Tamoguna, very dull, lethargic, full of inertia, but he has a lot of anger and a lot of lust. In the 3rd chapter of the Gita, Krishna mentioned, Kamaisha, Krodesha, Rajaguna, Samudbhava, Mahasana, Mahapapma, Vidyenam, Yavairinam. Listen, Arjuna, a Kama, lust, Krodha, anger, originate from Rajaguna. They are great enemies of human beings in a spiritual path. Destroy them, kill them mercilessly. When a person towards the last birth, he develops a lot of Sattva quality. His mind dwells in God. He has tremendous yearning, longing. Then Sri Ramakrishna mentioned some people who came to see him. Krishna Das Pal, he was a converted Christian. Well, he came to see me. I asked him, what is the goal of human life? He said, the goal of human life is to do good to the world. I said, who are you that you want to go to the world? Is world a small place? Vast. Sri Ramakrishna mentioned that he was very egotistic. Then he went to see Vidyasagar. Then he praised his Shakti karma. He said, the Sattva guna comes from compassion. You help people, you feed people, you give education, knowledge to the people. These come from Sattva guna. You are getting virtue. But it will bring your name, fame. But be careful. Do it without any motive. This Sri Ramakrishna further mentions, I am giving all these illustrations because the moment we shall enter to the gunas, then you have some background. You know how gunas, the science of the gunas. The person who is a Sattva guna, he meditates under the mosquito curtain at night without letting people know. And he perhaps has a little fruits or little things he offers to the Lord. He does not have much money to pay to give fancy offering to the Lord. No good dress, no fancy things in home. And Bhakti Raja, well, look at you, he will do the 16 items worship. Well, and he will, beautiful image, very expensive shrine, and his rosary is made, the chain is made of gold. Sri Ramakrishna vividly described the rich people's shrine and all those things. And Bhakti Tamo, well, they, do you know what do? They, some robbers. They will do the puja of the Divine Mother. Mother, we are going to rob people so that we may not get caught. They are also worshipping the Lord. They offer worship. Mother loves goat, sacrifice a goat and make the goat meat and offer to the mother. They want to enjoy. That is in the name of the mother, they do all these things. These are all tamoguna devotees. Anyhow, Sri Ramakrishna mentioned various kinds of devotees. Very interesting. Now we shall start. Shri Bhagavanu Vacham Param Bhuya Prabhakshyami Gyananam Gyanamuttamam Yajgata Munaya Sarve Param Siddhi Mito Gataham. Again I shall tell you that supreme knowledge, which is above all knowledge, having known which all the moon is, have attained to high perfection after this life. You will perhaps remember in the last verse of the 13th chapter, Krishna said, they who, with the eye of knowledge, perceive the distinction between the kshetra, kshetra means, you remember, body, and kshetragya, the knower of the body, Atman, and also the emancipation from the prakriti of beings, go to the Supreme. Emancipation of prakriti. How to get rid of this maya? We cannot say why this maya, but we can tell you how to get rid of maya. Very interesting subject. Param bhuya prabhakshami. Bhuya means again I am going to tell you. Remember, it is 14th chapter. In many chapters, Krishna mentions about the gunas, about karma. For example, in the 3rd chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna mentioned Prakriti kriyamanani gunaih karmani sarvasa ahankara vimudatma karta ahamiti manyate. All work is performed by the gunas of Prakriti, but he whose mind is deluded by egotism thinks, I am the doer. I am the doer. Sri Ramakrishna gave a beautiful illustration. In the cooking pot, you are boiling eggplant, potato. Those eggplants and potato are jumping in the cooking pot, and they are thinking we are jumping. They do not understand that it is the flame, the fire, generated heat, and with that heat, water is boiling, with that is the reason they are moving. So behind all of our activities, we must know it is God, that consciousness is behind. When we have this knowledge that it is God doing everything, we are not the doer, you will be illumined. We work through body, speech, and mind. Behind this action, there is deliberation, resolution, motion, vibration, overcoming the obstruction. What is the goal of all these activities? We want peace and bliss in our lives. But there are so many fights going on among the gunas. Let me give an example. You will understand better what I am talking about. Sattva says, we need a water jar, an earthen jar, which will please bring water from the lake which is down the hill. Rajaguna immediately started to move to make a jar. Tamoguna said, no, it is not necessary to make a jar. When you are thirsty, go to that lake and drink there and come back. No activities are necessary. then Rajas and Tamas had fight. All the gunas, you remember, they're fighting each other. Raja said, no, we need water. We will have to survive. Otherwise we will die. Then Raja convinced the Tamas and subdued the Tamas and made the jar and made Sattva-guna happy. You know, this Gita will tell us more elaborately how Sattva overpowered Rajas and Tamas predominant. Sometimes Rajas is predominant, Sattva and Tama down. Sometimes Tama is up and Sattva and Rajas down. What happens at that time? It is really an interesting study about the gunas. Do you know why it is interesting and important? You can see your mind. I am depressed. Why? Down. That is tamoguna. I am overactive. That is rajaguna. Please remember, if the mind is too fast, that is sickness. Too much running. If the mind is too slow, that is also sickness. How to bring balance, the mind in equilibrium, in sattva quality, calmness, serenity. That is our goal. So when we know the play of the gunas, we know what we are supposed to do. I sometimes say that, those who have some kind of mental difficulties, problems, I say, please read the three gunas. 14th chapter you read and find out where is the problem. If you know your disease, you can cure it. You will not have to go to a psychiatrist or a doctor all the time. We can handle ourselves. So this Gita is this gunas, knowledge of the gunas will help us to understand our minds. I am depressed. Why? Find out the cause. And then take action. It is extremely important to study one's own mind. We want to know how this mind functions. Happiness, misery, dullness, inertia. It is interesting. Their case, he was talking about gunas. Those tattva-vittu mahabhavo guno karma vibhagayo. In the 3rd chapter also Krishna mentioned a gun, 3 gunas, karma. Those who are knower of Brahman, they know all this mystery of the gunas and mystery of the karma. Then he says, Param bhuyo prabhakshami gananam ganauta. Again I am going to tell you about these gunas. It is the supreme knowledge. Having this knowledge, the munaya, rishis, the seers, the sages attain perfection. Perfection. Jesus said, be ye perfect, as the Father in heaven is perfect. Perfection is our goal. Nobody is perfect in this world. Except the illumined soul. Once Swami Turiyananda mentioned about Swami Vivekananda. I think a young Swami went to him and Turiyananda said, you have come late. If you would see Swamiji, you would get a glimpse of the sign of a perfect human being. He was perfect in every respect. In singing, in oratory, in cooking, in every respect he was perfect. That is the reason Sri Ramakrishna says, Keshav is famous with 1 and 2 qualities, Narendra has 18 such divine qualities. Swamiji was perfect. If you read his life, just right. Param Siddhi Mato Mito Gata, Param Siddhi. Siddhi means illumination, perfection. Our goal, that is in the last part of the 14th chapter, will tell us Gunatito, Bhakti Lakkhana, the science of a person who transcended the 3 gunas. We are like a plaything in the hands of nature, but we can take away our life from the hands of nature and begin to develop ourselves. To do that, we need knowledge, how to go beyond the 3 gunas and become free. That is our own privilege. No animal can do it. And so this subject eventually takes us to that stage which is beyond all the 3 gunas. Thus a new concept comes here, the concept of Trigunatito. Utito means transcendent beyond 3 guna. Many sages have achieved this and become free. We shall also achieve it and become free. That is why the knowledge of the 3 gunas is very important in our lives. Next verse. Idam jnanam upashrita mamo sadharmam agataha sargiyopi nopajayanti pulaicha batanticha. They who, having devoted themselves to this knowledge, have attained to my being, are neither born at the time of creation, nor are they troubled at the time of dissolution. Idam jnanam upashrita. When you attain this knowledge of oneness, Atman, Brahman, or knowledge of God, sadharma magata. Krishna says he will get my qualities, all divine qualities. But please remember, a knower of Brahman will be Brahman, but a knower of God cannot be one with God. Why? I shall tell you. Jiva and Brahma, and Jiva and Ishvara. Look, when Sri Ramakrishna told Swamiji, he who was Rama, he who was Krishna, is verily in this body as Ramakrishna. But not from your Vedantic standpoint. What does it mean? In Vedanta, each soul is divine. Each soul is the Atman. Atman and Brahman, both are the same. Individual consciousness and cosmic consciousness as consciousness, both are the same. But the individual body are not the same. Look, when Krishna says, Sadharma Magata, get my dharma, that means that person attains all my divine qualities. But he cannot be Ishvara. Why? Jagat Vyapara Varjam, in the Brahma Sutra, there is an aphorism called only Ishvara has the power to create, preserve and destroy. Ordinary beings do not have that power. Moreover, ordinary beings and the avatar are different. We are born, individual beings, we are born out of our karma and desire. We are born to fulfill our desires in this life. Then we will be born next life to fulfill our desires. That is the way you are continuously creating desires and you are coming to this world again and again. If you have no desires, you will never come back. That is the individual jivas, beings. But Ishvara has no desire. But Ishvara takes a human form as an avatar. Like Rama, Krishna, Buddha, Chaitanya. They are avatars. They take human form, but they are God. Then why do they take human form? Just to help human beings. Avatar does not have karma. He is Ishvara. Ordinary human beings have karma. They are subject within Maya, so we are subject to karma. That is the way it works. Idam jnanam sadharmam agataha. So you understand the Jiva, Ishvara, Brahma. Swargopi nopajayanti. They will never be born because they attain perfection. They have no desires. Pulayecha bhatanticha. And they are not troubled at the time of death they have no pain. Some people die with pain and misery, you know. As I was talking about that pralaya, Mahapralaya, cosmic dissolution, when all three gunas become equilibrium. Nitya pralaya, daily dissolution, that we do at the time of our sleep, dissolve. The whole world disappears from our minds. Khanja pralaya, perhaps some part of Hawaii Island from the volcanic eruptions are destroyed and go into the ocean. And Atyantika pralaya, permanent dissolution that comes from illumination. That person will never be born again. So Nitya pralaya, daily dissolution through sleep. Atyantik pralaya, permanent dissolution through knowledge of Brahman. Khanja pralaya is partial dissolution of this universe. And Mahapralaya is the permanent dissolution of the whole universe when three gunas become equilibrium and Maya becomes inactive and remains as Shakti with Brahman. Now you understand what I mean. That is the nature of the freedom. What a wonderful state of mind it is. You are being sent out into the world through that evolutionary process, but this particular person does not come under the category. He or she is free. He or she has gone beyond the three gunas. Similarly, when the world is going to be wound up at any final stage, he or she is not worried about it. So when we understand our true nature as one with Brahman, the play of nature does not worry us. We merely look on and watch the play. That is why this idea was emphasized earlier. With witness. Beautiful. Mama sadharmam agataha. Next verse. Mama jonihi mahad brahma tasmin garbham dadhamyaham sambhava sarvabhutanam tato bhavati bharata. My womb is the great Prakriti, and in that I place the germ. From thence, O descendant of Bharata, is the birth of all beings. It is the cosmic creation. Mahad Brahma means this vast Prakriti. Manifested Brahman. Unmanifest, manifest. In that manifested, I put the seed. How do I put the seed? In the beginning of the Taittiriya Upanishad, you will find this mantra. Atma va eva agra asit. In the beginning was the Atman. At that time, nobody could breathe. No inhaling, no exhaling, no action. Sa ikshata, that God, Shakti, power of Brahman, ikshata. That ikshata has means darshan. He saw, he delivered, he resolved, he thought. Whatever he thought, creation evolved. Sa ikshata lokanu asriyata iti. I shall create all beings. I am alone. I feel lonely. I shall be many. So God was alone, so He wants to play with His children, so created all of us. This world is the stage. We are all playing each of our roles, and we are all God's playmates. Try to see the world this way, then it will be easy. It is a mysterious way they put it there. Think about creation. All these human bodies we see. What is the origin of this human body? A small drop of semen, liquid substance, enters the mother's womb, then baby is born, grows, baby comes out, and then mother feeds, then we become childhood, boyhood, youth, old age, hard bones, big hard skull. But it came from that one drop of liquid substance. People say that how consciousness created all this materialistic world, all these things. These things have been elaborately discussed in Vedanta philosophy. The name of that book is called Punchikaranam. Read that thing. When I gave class on the Vedanta Shara, I discussed these things elaborately. How the space, the five bhutas, space, air, fire, water and earth, how these five elements, Kriti, Ap, Tej, Morud, Bom, these five elements, how they mix together one after another, and I created this cosmic, vast, manifested, hard universe. That is the way it goes. Purusha and Prakriti. Only Purusha cannot create, only Atman cannot create anything. It is pure consciousness. And Prakriti, nature also cannot create anything. We need Purusha and Prakriti. One man cannot produce a child, or one woman he cannot produce a child. We need the union of a man and woman, then the child is possible. So mixture of the meeting of the Purusha and Prakriti, this nature came. Just like Shiva Shakti, according to Tantra. Hiranyagarbha. Let me make a comment here, the difference between Shankar and Vedanta. According to Shankar philosophy, Purusha is infinite, Prakriti is also infinite. But according to Vedanta, Purusha, Brahman is infinite, Prakriti is not infinite. And there are many Purushas according to Shankar, but in Vedanta, that Jivatma are many, but Atma is one. That is the basic differences between Shankar and Vedanta. Creation. Sarva yonishu kuntiya murtaya sambhavantiya tasam brahma mahajyoni aham bija pradapita. Whatever forms are produced, O son of Kunti, in all the wombs, the great Prakriti is their womb, and I am the seed-giving father. There is nothing to talk about. Sattam rajastamaiti guna prakriti sambhava nibuddhanti mahabaho dehe dehinam abhayam. O mighty armed one, the gunas, sattva, rajas and tamas, born of prakriti, bind the immutable embodied being to the body. Now Krishna is going to tell us, sattva, rajas, tamas, three gunas originate from prakriti, nature, and they bind all human beings. We are bound, but we do not feel it. Sri Ramakrishna told a beautiful parable. Some fisher women are returning to their home. On their way. There is a storm. They took shelter in the house of a florist. And the florist friend gave them shelter, fed them. And they were sleeping in a room surrounded by flower garden, and they are not getting any sleep. Then they are very restless. So the florist friend came and said, "What is the matter? You are not getting any sleep?" "No, this flower smell, we are not getting any sleep because of this fragrance of the flowers. You please bring our fish baskets." So their fish baskets are brought. They sprinkled some water. When the fish smell came, then immediately they fell asleep. There is a great message in this parable of Sri Ramakrishna. Divine fragrance and worldly fragrance. Those who are Sattvic people, they love divine fragrance. Tamasic, Rajasic people, they want this worldly fragrance. They all want that fish smell. Sattva-guna. Prakashakam. We shall talk about it, the Sattva, Raja, Prakriti Sambhava, Nibuddhanti. These gunas bind us. How they bind? Sattva-guna is also, as I say, is a robber. Sattva-guna, through happiness and through knowledge, they bind us. Then we shall talk about it. And Rajaguna also, through karma, attachment, binds us. Tamoguna also binds us. But we do not feel it. We love this world. Maya. I remember once I was, in 1982, I went for pilgrimage. From Daruka to Bet Daruka on the way. And through the seashore, mile after mile, the fishermen were drying their fish, hanging the rope. Oof! I couldn't breathe. So terrible bad odor of that fish, dry fish. But the fishermen, they do not feel it at all because they are got used to it. I'm just telling you that you know how the gunas work. In this world, those who are spiritual people, they need a spiritual environment, a spiritual praise, spiritual atmosphere. Worldly people also like that. Sometimes they give this illustration. A fish, its home is water. When the fish is taken from the water to the land, it flops and flounders and dies. So the spiritual people, Sattvic people, their real abode is God. There they feel peace and joy. The worldly climate, worldly environment are very uncomfortable for them. And vice versa. If you bring a worldly people in the temple, if this is spiritual atmosphere, that person will feel terribly uncomfortable. But it is not wrong because each person will have to go through their own karmas. We cannot help it. Okay, I shall stop here today. Sahana bhavatu, sahano bhunaktu, saha viryam karavavahai, tejasya navadhitamastu ma vidvishabhai. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. May Brahman protect us, may he guide us, may he give us strength and right understanding. May love and harmony be with us all. Om, peace, peace, peace.